Video 21, Part 5C of 25, Outputs from the Defined Scope Process. The purpose of this video is to develop a WBS to present the deliverables from the defined scope process. The defined scope process is the third process in the project scope management knowledge area and is related to the planning process group. Please click the like button. Subscribe to my channel and share with others. Thank you. The first output from the defined scope process is the project scope statement. How important is the project scope statement output from the defined scope process? The project scope statement is a critical output of the defined scope process in project management, according to the PMBOK guide. It serves as the foundation for project planning and execution, ensuring clarity and alignment among stakeholders. Here are the reasons why the project scope statement is so important. 1. Defines project boundaries. The project scope statement clearly outlines what is included or in scope, and what is excluded or out of scope. The project scope statement also prevents scope creep by setting limits on deliverables and work. 2. Guides project execution and control. The project scope statement serves as a reference point for the project team to ensure work aligns with objectives. The project scope statement also helps in monitoring and controlling scope changes. 3. Basis for key project documents. The project scope statement informs the work breakdown structure, schedule, cost estimates, and risk assessments. The project scope statement also supports stakeholder agreement on deliverables. 4. Reduces misunderstandings and conflicts. The project scope statement provides a single source of truth for all stakeholders, such as team, sponsors, and clients. The project scope statement also minimizes disputes by documenting acceptance criteria and key constraints. 5. Supports change management. The project scope statement helps because any requested changes can be evaluated against the scope statement to determine impact. The project scope statement also ensures only approved changes are implemented. How can a poor project scope statement output produced harm the defined scope process? A poorly defined project scope statement can severely undermine the defined scope process and lead to significant project challenges, including cost overruns, delays, and even failure. Here's how a weak scope statement can harm the process and the project. 1. Leads to scope creep. Without clear boundaries, stakeholders may request additional work, leading to uncontrolled expansion of deliverables. The team wastes time on out-of-scope tasks, increasing costs and delaying timelines. 2. Causes misalignment and conflicts. Different stakeholders may interpret deliverables differently, leading to disputes over expectations. Lack of clear acceptance criteria results in rejected deliverables and rework. 3. Weakens project planning. A vague scope statement makes it difficult to create an accurate work breakdown structure, schedule, and budget. Teams may miss critical tasks or underestimate efforts. 4. Increases risk of project failure. Poorly defined objectives can lead to delivering the wrong product or service, failing to meet business needs. Without measurable success criteria, the project may be deemed unsuccessful even if completed. 5. Hinders change control. If the original scope is unclear, assessing the impact of requested changes becomes subjective. Unnecessary or harmful changes may be approved, disrupting the project. 6. Wastes resources and lowers team morale. Teams spend time clarifying requirements instead of executing efficiently. Frustration grows due to rework, unclear priorities, and shifting expectations. 7. Damages stakeholder confidence. Clients, sponsors, and team members lose trust in the project's direction. Future projects may face skepticism due to past failures caused by poor scoping. In conclusion, the project scope statement is essential for project success. Without it, projects risk uncontrolled changes, misalignment, budget overruns, and failure to meet objectives. Real consequences you may face. First, you may experience budget overruns due to unplanned work. Second, you may miss deadlines due to rework or unclear tasks. Third, you may experience poor quality deliverables due to misunderstood requirements. Last, you may experience project cancellations if stakeholders lose trust. A well-defined scope statement ensures clarity, focus, and effective project governance. The second output from the defined scope process is the project documents updates. How important is the project documents updates output from the defined scope process? The project documents updates output from the defined scope process in project management is important but secondary compared to the primary output, which is the project scope statement. The project documents updates output is important for the following reasons. 1. The project documents updates reflects evolving project knowledge. As the project scope is defined, updates to documents, such as requirements documentation, stakeholder registers, or assumptions logs, ensure alignment with the finalized scope. 2. The project documents updates supports traceability. Changes in scope may impact other areas, such as risks, constraints, or stakeholder expectations, so updating related documents maintains consistency. 3. The project documents updates enhances communication. Updated documents ensure all stakeholders have the latest information, reducing misunderstandings. 4. The project documents updates feeds into future processes. Documents like the requirements traceability matrix or assumptions log are used in later processes, such as create WBS and control scope. How can a poor project documents updates output produced harm the defined scope process? A poorly managed project documents updates output can significantly harm the defined scope process, leading to misalignment, inefficiencies, and even project failure. Here we have how a poorly managed project documents updates output can significantly harm the defined scope process. 1. Misaligned or incomplete requirements. If the requirements documentation isn't updated properly, the scope may exclude critical needs or include outdated ones. As a result, stakeholders may dispute deliverables, leading to rework or scope creep. 2. Unaddressed assumptions and constraints. If the assumptions log isn't revised, the team might proceed with incorrect or outdated assumptions, such as budget, timelines, and resource availability. As a result, unrealistic scope definitions, leading to delays or cost overruns. 3. Inaccurate stakeholder expectations. If the stakeholder register isn't updated, key stakeholders influencing scope may be overlooked. As a result, late-stage scope changes due to unidentified stakeholder demands. 4. Unmanaged risks. If the risk register isn't updated with new risks from scope decisions, such as dependencies and technical challenges, risks may go unmitigated. As a result, unexpected issues derail the project during execution. 5. Poor traceability and scope verification issues. If the requirements traceability matrix isn't maintained, it becomes hard to verify if deliverables match scope. As a result, disputes during validation, failed audits, or rejected deliverables. 6. Inconsistent baseline references. If supporting documents, such as business case and charter, aren't synced with scope changes, future decisions may rely on outdated info. As a result, contradictions in project direction, leading to confusion and wasted effort. In conclusion, we have some key documents that may be updated. First, requirements documentation may be refined or clarified. Second, the stakeholder register may be updated if new stakeholders emerge from scope discussions. Third, the assumptions log may be updates if we have new constraints or changes in initial assumptions. Last, the risk register may be updates if we have new risks related to scope changes. Although project documents updates may seem like a bureaucratic step, their poor execution undermines the entire defined scope process, creating ripple effects across the project. Some long-term consequences that can occur. First, you may experience scope creep due to uncontrolled changes due to inadequate documentation. Second, you may experience rework and delays due to overlooked dependencies or miscommunication. Third, you may experience stakeholder dissatisfaction due to unmet expectations. Last, you can experience project failure if critical gaps are not identified early. While not the most critical output, project documents updates play a supporting yet essential role in maintaining project integrity and ensuring all aspects of the project remain aligned with the defined scope. Finishing this video, we will have in the next videos. 1. Creation of WBS for different projects using WBS Schedule Pro. 2. Examples of project plans using MS Project. And many other videos. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you like this video and want us to continue with new topics. Subscribe to the channel. All content is free. You can also comment suggesting topics you would like to see on this channel. Thank you.